Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 Trader with 920 Trading and Trading Decoded. Today is Tuesday, March 12th, 2024, and this is how we traded SPY today on CPI day for March 2024. Now, actually, the report that came out today, those were actually the February numbers. But before we get started, if you enjoy our videos, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. Also, leave us a comment. Those are always greatly appreciated. And share with your friends. That would be awesome as well. So again, folks, today, CPI day. Now, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I would take CPI day over the helter-skelterness of FOMC day 100% of the time. Why? Well, you get the FOMC day and those moves can be absolutely crazy. So if you find yourself on the wrong end of an FOMC day trade, you will get absolutely destroyed. Ask me how I know, because guess what? I've been there. So anyway, today was CPI day. So what are we going to do? We're going to look at levels. Now, on this chart today, unless otherwise noted, every single line on here is a major line, meaning a 30-minute supply zone or demand zone. So we're going to be looking at these levels as possible targets. Oh, so we can use those as targets. We can also use those as support or resistance. So we're going to start out at a pre-market high, 514.90 down to pre-market low, 510.11. So I'm thinking right here, oh my goodness, we've got almost $5 worth of movement from the bottom to the top. If for some reason we came down here and we took out pre-market low and then we took out pre-market high, those would be what we consider in the business to be banger trades. Did that happen? I don't know. So let's get to now. I do also have a couple of pivot points, actually one pivot point, because when we get out of this this range up here, and again, we got this 30-minute candle right here. When we get out of this range, where do we go? Well, our next lineup is 517.95. We have to have, or at least we are looking for, some sort of intermediate target along the way. We need something. We don't want to fly blind. We can turn off every single line on the chart and hide all the drawings. That's what it looks like. And fine, folks, that is fine. But we like to have a little bit of added extra security, knowing exactly where our 30-minute zones are. So we will go back to the lines on the chart. So here we go. And if you are paying attention, you can already see, guess what? What do we have, folks? We had the good old right out of the gate. Now, this level from here, this 513.84, and I was calling out this level. I said, folks, if we breach this to the upside, there's a good chance that we'll get up to this 514.65. But if we don't, this was a supply zone from just a few days ago, a 30-minute supply zone. So I said, if we fail to get above this level, we could potentially move back to the downside. And guess what we did? We failed. Had a doji on that next candle. I got in on the death cross. So again, the death cross, we crossed the 9, the 20, the VWAP, and the POC all on the same candle. Folks, when that happens, a good percentage of the time, either a death cross to the downside or a golden cross to the upside. Generally speaking, those work out very, very well. You have to know exactly where your different lines of support and resistance are, or where your danger is. So in other words, predefine that risk before you ever enter the trade, which is exactly what I did. So again, death cross to the downside, cruising immediately. It went positive immediately. I wrote it down, this first line, second line. Had a little bit of trouble in here, printed this doji here at 947. So I guess 10, 12, 13 minutes in this trade. And on this next candle, I said, you know what? That's enough for me. I am going to go ahead and take myself out of the trade. Very, very, very nice trade. Now, had a couple of people that jumped in to, early in the day. So it's early in the day. It's considered at this point a counter trend trade. But at the same time, you've got good support coming down right here at this 511.27 and again 511.69. I said, you know what? If we can breach this 69 back to the upside, I will take a position and see if we can push it through VWAP. And we did. Now, I closed out right in here on this candle only because we had a little pullback. Yeah, big deal. But at any rate, closed out on this candle right here. And I said, you know what? It's at this point, it had been a really good day at this point. I mean, I think we're talking about $4 worth of movement. So let's see, 512.93 down to 5. So we got $2 there. How much did we get here? 511.80, 586, 513. We've got almost $4 worth of movement, folks, and you can do the math. I trade SPX. I trade multiple SPX contracts. You can do the math on that. But again, folks, we are not in the results business. We are in the process business. So follow your process, trust the process. But if you can pick up, $4 worth of movement in the first, hour of the trading day, how long into the trading day were we? We were 30 minutes. We were literally 30 minutes at this point into the trading day. A lot of folks said, you know what? They pick up $1, $2, $3, $4, and they said, you know what? I'm done for the day. Cash it in. $4 during the trading day, folks. That is a massive, massive, massive day. Any way you cut it, folks. $4. I don't care your position size. It doesn't matter. $4 in SPY movement during any one given day, particularly over 2 moves or a single move. Folks, that is a really, really, really nice day. So what we did, we bounced around. I was able to, I didn't get a fresh cross here, but we breached this area up back to the upside. We touched this 20. So we tested the 20 down here, came back, breached this line back to the upside again, 513.84. Again, that's our line. I rode it through that pre-market line, was able to use this as support. And at this point, I'm looking for pivot points. So I'm looking for pivot points high. I've got that 515.99. We'll call it 516 right up there. I took my profit right in here. Why did I take my profit? Well, maybe a little prematurely, but nevertheless, I had a candle. I wasn't watching higher time frames. That is kind of my failure on this one. But again, still a good trade. I had a candle that breached the 9 back to the downside. So I went ahead and closed out the trade. So at this point, let's do the math. 514.16, 550. We're at, what are we at? Over, close to what? We're at $4, $5, $5.50 worth of movement on any given day. We are talking about, folks, those are really, really, really good moves, good results, excellent execution. Didn't take anything, bounced around. Got into this period of accumulation. So you could either think that it was accumulation, that they're accumulating their positions to drive it higher, or it's the start of distribution. So remember those 4 different phases. So we have accumulation, we have markup, we have distribution, and markdown. That's why. So your accumulation, you think you're kind of bouncing around. You can call it consolidation, but it's really accumulation. So accumulation is where you stay in a fairly tight range for an extended period of time, followed by the markup stage. So the markup stage, essentially, that's when they've accumulated enough positions slowly over time, and then they throw a bunch of volume behind it, and then they run it up very, very quickly. Okay, they take their profit at the top, and then they start slowly selling off those positions as to not make the market drop down too quickly. So thinking at this point, are we accumulating or are we starting a distribution cycle, or that third phase? I don't know. I can't get in the minds of the big boys. So the banks, the financial institutions, the hedge funds, the people that really, really move the market. I can't get into their heads, nor would I try to. Ultimately, it's just computers, folks. It's just computers. And as retail traders, the best thing we can do is ride on the coattails of the big boys and pick up their crumbs. That's all we're doing, folks. That's all we can do. We do not have the capital to move the market whatsoever. We are not dealing in penny stocks. So this is how we do it. Now, I can tell you this. It bounced around. We are a little over 2 hours into the trading day at this point. And still, again, you're thinking, oh, okay, are we accumulating? Are we distributing? What are we doing? It came down and right around this time, right in here. So we're getting close to lunchtime, folks. We're getting close to lunchtime, and right around 1 o'clock. So I said, folks, I missed this play back to the downside. We had 1 cross, 2 cross, 3 crosses, your third cross. Second cross generally is a good cross to the downside. This was a third cross, and again, I was not in on this play. This would have been a really, really nice play to get into. Again, I wasn't in it. But I'll tell you the one that I missed. The trade of the day that, a beautiful trade that would have put the cherry on top, was this trade right in here. I was at lunch. A friend of mine, who's a member of our group, he texted me and he says, man, I'm looking at this thing right now. What do you think about these levels? And I pulled up my phone, pulled up my chart on my phone. And I said, okay, we've got support here. 513.84. So 513.84, this is where we actually dropped earlier today. So we dropped down from this and we came down. And I said, well, if we are able to get back above this 513.84, maybe get into the fishtail, and we got that we got VWAP right in here. If you can catch off support, get in the fishtail. Again, the fishtail is the space between the 9 and the 20. So if you catch a fishtail play, ride it up and see where it goes. And he jumped in this thing and he was texting me. He's like, okay, what are my levels? What are my levels? I said, okay, we got what do we got? 514.18. So 514.18 up in here. I said, watch this level very, very closely, because if we can't get past this level, then we will potentially move back to the downside. Well, it pushed up a little bit more. But at any rate, this right here was a clean trade. So we got 513. Let's call it 514. All the way to almost $1.50. So let's call it another dollar move. Again, I did not catch that move. It was a clean move. It was so super clean. I mean, look at the trajectory of these 1 minute candles. If you look at it on a higher time frame, I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful. Everything today on a higher time frame was beautiful. Now, 1 minute candles, folks, these are heart attack or stroke inducing candles. These are candles that once you get into that trade, switch to a higher time frame. Switch to that higher time frame. Switch to the 2 minute, switch to the 3 minute, switch to the 5 minute. We're using those higher time frames for trend confirmation. 1 minute, there's just too much noise. And as a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, I wrote one of our newsletters that said, you know what, consider going to higher time frames. There's much less noise. Now, from an execution standpoint, we want to execute on the 1 minute, because the executions on the 1 minute, those will give you much better entries. So they are almost surgical like entries on the 1 minute. So you take your 1 minute entries, switch to a higher time frame, and then look for your potential areas where it could go, or the trade could go south on you. So again, didn't catch that trade, but I caught a dirty trade in here. This was a much dirtier play. I switched on my three minute candles on this particular play, 1337. And it was an absolute grind, folks. It was an absolute grind. Took off the trade right in here, and I said, you know what? I'm not done yet. Let's see if we can scalp one more play to the upside on a continuation candle. I said, you know what? Let's see if we can go up and take this to this level right up in here. Actually, I didn't have a line there. POC, I don't know what was there, but I thought, you know what? Let's see if we can scalp something. Scalped something to the upside. Again, 4 or 5 minute trade. Really nice trade. I feel very fortunate. Today is one of those days that as a trader, when you can pick up $5 or $6 or $7 worth of movement as a trader, and again, I don't care what you're trading, but if you're trading SPY or SPX or the Qs, whatever you're trading, if you can pick up that kind of movement, if you can properly execute and pick up that kind of movement during a day, folks, you are going to have an incredibly great day. But again, it's all about the execution. Put on the trade when you're supposed to put on the trade, and take off the trade when you're supposed to take off the trade. We're getting late in the day on this trade, and I thought, you know what? We got about, 27 minutes left in the trading day, I think. No, we didn't. We had a lot more time. I'm on Central Time. But anyway, that was it for me. So we came down again, double cross to the upside off of support. I didn't take any more trades, but look at this trajectory. I mean, it's just beautiful trajectory. Now you get into this area, late in the day, last hour of the day. Here's the thing, folks. 3 out of every 5 days, you're going to have a really nice move in the last 30 minutes of the day. So 2 of the days you're not. So 2 of the days you're just kind of chop around. And the problem is you never know, but you can kind of predict it after a big day. So let's say you have a really big trending day. A lot of times you won't get anything, that late play in the day. Now, if you get a day like today where, up, down, up, really nice levels throughout the day, you might get that play. But again, 3 out of 5 days, it's going to be a really nice trade at the end of the day. 2 out of those 5 days. And again, didn't put on anything in here because at this point I'd made $6, $7 worth of movement in SPY today. And again, I trade SPX, so everything is multiplied by 10. So in other words, it was a very fruitful day. But that's how we did it, folks, today. Now, I want to show one more thing here. I am going to clean this chart up just a little bit. Now, when we look at the day, if we're looking at the 1 minute, this is what the 1 minute looks like, okay? Now, if we clean it up a little bit and go to the 3 minute chart, this is what the 3 minute looks like. So it is much clearer on the 3 minute chart than it is on the 1. There's much less noise on that 1 minute than there is on the 3. Now, if you're not used to holding your trades, folks, if you're not used to holding your trades, it can get pretty difficult, particularly if you are watching your P&L. Folks, don't watch your P&L in the middle of a trade. Your job as a trader is to execute according to your trading plan. Okay, that's it. That's it. So execute according to your trading plan. If you are watching your P&L while you're in the middle of a trade, are you following your plan? Unless you're a scalper. And if you're a scalper and say, you know what, I'm looking for a 10 cent, 20 cent, 30 cent move, take that 10, 20, 30 cent move, get out of the market, wait for your next setup. But if you want to let the chart tell you when to get in and when to get out, then turn off your P&L. Don't watch your P&L, folks. I'm telling you, our job as a trader is to execute. I've asked this question before, but I will ask it again. If I hired you as a professional trader to trade my account, and I said, these are the parameters, these are the conditions on which you put on a play, and these are the conditions on which you take the trade off the table. I'm not worried about wins. I'm not worried about losses. The only thing that I'm worried about is your ability to execute according to your written trading plan. Could you do that? If you could do that, wonderful. I'm going to hire you as my professional trader. If, on the other hand, you can't, then you got some work to do, and that's okay, folks. Again, our job as a trader is to execute according to our trading plan. Our goal is to get marginally better every day. So by getting marginally better every single day, think about where you're going to be a month from now, 6 months from now, or a year from now. You're going to be so much better as a trader if you focus on the execution. And again, folks, the only thing that matters is your trade execution. Count up your money at the end of the day, folks. But again, we are not reliant on a trade by trade basis to make it as a trader, but rather a series of trades over time. That's where the rubber meets the road, folks. It's not a single trade. Anybody can, hit that home run every now and again. And that is possible. It happens all the time. But the key is making those good, decent plays along the way, and it's all based on trade execution. But that is how we did it today, folks. That is how SPY played out today. Now, if you like our videos, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day and sometimes on the weekend. If you're interested in live daily trading, please head over to our live trading Discord. It's called Trading Decoded. The link for that is down below. Now we do live daily trading every single day, folks, and we're talking. This is how we're talking every day, every single day in our live trading Discord, Trading Decoded. Head on over there. The link is down below. If you're interested in the 920 trading strategy, head on over to 920trading.com. And the entire strategy is there, folks. Everything is there that you needed to know about the 920 strategy is there for you. The only thing that it's going to cost you is a little bit of your precious time. Now, while you are there, go ahead and sign up for our free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Saturday. Again, the only thing that is required from you is a little bit of your precious time. So that's how we did it today, folks. We appreciate each and every one of you. We hope you all had a great trading day. We're going to do it again tomorrow, folks. We're going to trade tomorrow. We're going to do an update video tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow, the execution can be as fruitful as it was today. So everybody have a great rest of the day. And we will see you in the markets.